Have you ever stopped to think about why some people manage to get rich while others keep chasing money their entire lives? If you're an employee and you don't know this yet, you will never get rich. Today, I'm going to share the only two paths to achieve financial freedom, but I'll go beyond that. In addition to these two strategies, I'll give you 10 real pieces of advice from Warren Buffett, which he uses and teaches to anyone who wants to win in the financial market and attain wealth. These tips are priceless, so pay close attention. Let's imagine that you're 30 years old and earning $1,000 a week. Sure, that amount might cover your current expenses, but what about the future? If you continue along this path, you will retire with a very low income. The problem is that with that bare minimum, you won't even be able to cover the basics, such as your health plan. And believe me, living like that isn't what you want for your life, right? Now, look at what Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, has always said. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. This is the first piece of advice that can transform your destiny. Live one step below where you are financially today. If you make $4,000 a month, organize your life to live on $3,000 and save the rest. That way, you'll have an amount you can invest, and that money will start working for you. Buffett also says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is real. Saving and investing is the first step because that's what rich people do to stay wealthy. They don't spend everything they earn. Instead, they save and make their money grow. Now, the second path, own your own business. Look at the richest people in the world. You'll see that most of them are entrepreneurs. As Buffett said, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Entrepreneurship is a way to earn much more than just working for others. When you own your own business, you decide how much you can grow. You're not dependent on bosses, promotions, or annual raises. And here's the key point. Entrepreneurship doesn't mean starting with something grand. It can be anything, from selling homemade sweets to opening a franchise. The important thing is to start, learn, and expand. Be creative, think of solutions, and start small. It might seem simple, but if you don't take that step, you're limiting your chances of success. Now, let's get straight to the 10 valuable tips from Warren Buffett that can help you truly achieve financial freedom. 1. Never depend on a single source of income. Invest to create a second one. If you rely solely on your salary as your only source of income, you're putting your financial future at risk. Buffett always emphasized the importance of creating multiple sources of income to ensure security and accelerate financial growth. This can come in various forms: investing in stocks, real estate, starting a small business, or even exploring lucrative hobbies. A clear example of how this works can be seen in Buffett's own life. In addition to his income as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, he has multiple sources of income generated by the businesses Berkshire owns, including stakes in major companies like Apple, Coca-Cola, and American Express. For him, each of these companies generates an additional cash flow, independent of his direct activity. In your life, this could mean taking an investment course and starting to buy dividend-paying stocks or investing in rental properties. The more sources of income you have, the more stable your financial future will be. 2. Time is the friend of wonderful businesses and the enemy of mediocre ones. Here, Buffett highlights the importance of thinking long-term. He believes that time can be the best friend of a good investment because solid companies tend to appreciate over the years. On the other hand, poorly structured businesses eventually collapse over time, revealing their weaknesses. Buffett applied this philosophy by investing in companies like Coca-Cola, where he holds a significant stake for decades. He knew that time would work in favor of the company, which has a strong brand and a global consumer base. Therefore, When investing, choose companies that have a good track record, a strong market presence, and growth potential for the future. The market may fluctuate in the short term, but if the company is solid, time will do its job. 3. Buy stocks as if you were buying the entire company. When you invest in stocks, you're not just buying numbers on a screen. You're becoming a shareholder of that company. Buffett always emphasizes that when buying stocks, he thinks as if he's purchasing the entire business. This means you need to trust the quality of the company and believe in its long-term future. For example, Buffett bought a large number of Apple shares, not because he expected an immediate return, but because he believed in the value of the company as a whole. He understood that Apple has a strong brand, loyal customers, and an innovative product line that places it in a unique market position. He thinks long-term, believing that Apple will continue to grow for many years. For you, this means that when buying stocks, you should analyze the company as a whole, its products, management team, long-term strategy, and ability to innovate. It's not about quick gains, but investing in something solid with growth potential. 4. The stock market is a game where there is no need to rush if you're already ahead. Many people are attracted to the idea of quick gains in the financial market, but Buffett reminds us that patience is a key virtue for success. He teaches that there's no need to rush, especially if you've made good investments. True wealth comes from holding onto your assets for long periods, allowing them to grow. Buffett's strategy can be clearly seen in his approach to companies like Berkshire Hathaway and Coca-Cola. He invested in them many years ago, and instead of selling quickly for a profit, he simply held onto his shares, allowing the value to accumulate. If you've invested in a good company, don't worry about the daily fluctuations in the market. Let time do its work, and you'll see how patience can bring significant returns. 5. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. This is one of Buffett's most famous and probably hardest to follow pieces of advice. When the market is in panic and everyone is selling, that's precisely the time to buy. Likewise, when the market is high and everyone is buying, you should be cautious, as prices may be inflated. Buffett brilliantly used this strategy during the 2008 financial crisis. While many investors were fleeing the market, afraid of losing everything, Buffett went on a buying spree, acquiring shares in major companies at incredibly low prices. When the market recovered, he reaped massive returns. In practice, this means that you should seize opportunities in times of crisis while others are afraid of losing. Similarly, be cautious during periods of market euphoria when prices may be excessively high. 6. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Buffett makes an important distinction between price and value. The price of a stock is just a number, while the real value of the company is what truly matters. Many investors focus solely on buying cheap stocks, but Buffett teaches us to look at the long-term value that the company will generate. One example is his purchase of Berkshire Hathaway shares. At the time, the price didn't seem very attractive, but he saw the future value of the company and its growth potential. Today, Berkshire is one of the largest companies in the world, and its market value has soared. In your life, this means that when choosing an investment, you shouldn't just look at the purchase price. Evaluate the company's overall value, its business model, leadership, growth potential, and competitiveness in the market. 7. Invest in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. For Buffett, the most valuable investment you can make is in yourself. He is an avid reader and believes that knowledge is the key to making smarter financial decisions. The more you know about the financial market, companies, and investments, the more empowered you will be to generate wealth. Buffett reads for hours every day and is always learning about new trends, companies, and opportunities. He believes that this commitment to continuous learning was one of the most important factors in his success. If you want to follow this advice, invest in financial education, read books about the market, keep up with economic news, and always seek new learning opportunities. The more knowledge you have, the better your financial decisions will be. 8. The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. One of the secrets to success, according to Buffett, is knowing how to say no. Many opportunities may seem attractive, but not all are worth your time and effort. The people who reach extreme levels of success are those who can focus on the few things that truly matter and say no to everything else. Buffett is known for rejecting many investments that don't meet his criteria. He prefers to focus on high-quality opportunities rather than trying to do everything at once. In your life, this might mean being more selective with your investments, your business decisions, and even your personal choices. By focusing on what truly has value, you avoid distractions and maximize your potential for success. 9. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Buffett believes that risk in the financial market is directly proportional to the lack of knowledge. In other words, the less you know about an investment, the riskier it will be. That's why he spends so much time studying the companies he intends to invest in. He shows us that risk can be minimized through deep knowledge. If you study and understand what you're investing in, the chances of failure decrease considerably. So, if you want to minimize risks, always seek to know as much as possible about the companies and investments you're considering. Don't take unnecessary risks by diving into something you don't fully understand. 10. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. Finally, one of Buffett's golden rules: always save first and spend later. Many people do the opposite, spending first and saving whatever remains. However, this strategy often leaves very little room for saving, especially with the temptations of modern consumption. Buffett's discipline in saving and investing has made him one of the wealthiest people in the world. He teaches us that this habit, when cultivated over time, can make a huge difference in accumulating wealth. In your life, this means that from today, you should prioritize saving. Create a financial plan that allows you to set aside a portion of your income every month, and only then consider your expenses. Over time, this habit will lead to substantial financial growth. By following these principles, you'll be on a much clearer path to financial freedom. Remember, building wealth is about consistency, discipline, and making informed decisions. And as Warren Buffett always says, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. This is the time to plant your financial tree. Whether you are young or old, employed or already thinking about starting a business, there is no better time than now to start following this advice. If you like these tips, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next videos. We will continue to bring you practical advice from great billionaires like Warren Buffett, as well as proven strategies to help you get out of the rat race and build the financial life of your dreams. Remember, success starts with small daily decisions, and you are in control of your future.